Hello, and what can I say? Duncan, superior. YouTube, most inferior. And if you can't guess by that title, today we are going to be reviewing a selection of sound waves, ranging from multiple different iterations. We're going to start with the small one. This is War for Cybertron Kingdom Core Class Soundwave, and he is fucking adorable. I want to say that right off the bat. Who wouldn't want a miniature G1 Soundwave with some articulation and one interesting feature in their life? And that interesting feature is he has a pop-out cassette tape that gives us a very mini Laserbeak, who does not transform, unfortunately. So, articulation-wise on little Soundwave, his head is on a ball joint and can do a full 360. You can look up really far. That's a big-ass tree. His arms can do a full 360, as again, all of these joints are on a ball joint. They can bend at the elbow, swivel at the elbow, like so. And of course he's got a little bit of wrist action, but that's due to transformation, nothing at the waist. He can, if we move his arms out of the way, do the full splits. You move the panel out of the way, once I'm able to. He can go forward that far, and he can go back not that far due to this being in the way. He has a rotation at the thighs, bend at the knees, and he can bend both ways at the knees, so it'll be like bark, 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 bark. Add a little bit of foot action. Transformation is you remove his blaster, his shoulder cannon, and his wrist blaster. Rotate his head around because you want that gap out, and fold it down into the body. Bring the arms back and rotate the arms this way, because there is a little slot here that will tab onto his butt, like so. Fold in the fists, fold the feet up, rotate them till they face this way. This slot will tab onto that tab there. And you've got a mini, and you take the gun. This little port on the back of his leg. This is where you put the gun. And his little shoulder blaster. And here you have Wolf Cybertron Soundwave in his cassette mode. Well, his cassette tape box mode. And it is really gorgeous. It is essentially what they've done is taken G1 Soundwave, give him some articulation, shrunk him down, and here you go. There's not real much I can say about it, but, you know. Now, this Soundwave can play all the tunes, which leads us to 2007 animated Soundwave. The not Decepticon, and again thank you to Bart for supplying Soundwave here, who appeared in the show as both a little robot and as a character. And as you can see, he is Chonk. As you all know, I say that Cybertron is the epitome of Chonk. Animated was a close second because they had big, chonky arms and very long limbs. Now, he does have a Laserbeak. Rock on, man. And if you got the black retool, you could get Ratbat. Now, to make him hold Laserbeak, you take this post and you plug it into this screw hole in his arm. And now, he can rock out. The Laserbeak 2 has a bit of a transformation. You fold what becomes the guitar bass down, and you push his tail up, and bam! Laserbeak. To transform all boombox Soundwave here, fold his head up, untab his chest, and untab everything, and bring it down. Fold in his hands, fold up the wheels. Bring these two up. You want them to basically sandwich in. Then there's a post inside this door here that's going to go into the hole here. You want to line it up so that it fits in like so. This whole figure is just articulated, and I wasn't going to go into articulation with this just because it's awkward and a lot of the limbs are stiff, and again, this is not my figure. Rotate the waist around 180 degrees, and then you come to probably one of my funnest bits. You unfold this part, then fold the leg down, bring the front of the bumper up, and bite the leg, because the leg is like, no, I don't want to go into place, and then pop it off the ball joint. Because I missed a step. Fold in the hands. Very important step. That was what was upsetting everything. Pop the leg back on the ball joint. Pop it into place. Then these two tabs are going to go into a slot up here on the roof. And then second verse is much like the first. Tap everything in together. And you have one of the few Soundwaves that doesn't have a cassette alt mode. Or anything like it. And it's a very lovely car. I'm loving the blues, and I don't know what Bart did up here. As you can see, it's a very lovely blue. And if you look down here, it's very clean. You don't see the hands, you don't see the feet, you don't see the head. And of course, Laserbeak can attach in robot mode. He's got these two tabs that fit, in vehicle mode and robot mode. He can fit into here, on the roof. We'll transform him back into guitar mode. He can fit on the side of the doors here, like so. But I doubt you'd get far. Because it pops in so. There you go. 1 down, 2 to go. 3 to go. I can count. Here we've got Transformers Prime Soundwave. Now this isn't the redo Evil Eyes. That is belong to... I don't actually have that figure. I was going to plan on getting it, but then money didn't work out. I will do a separate review for Evil Eyes where I will have the Soundwave in it, but that will become later. Transformers Prime Soundwave was a mute, and a fabulous looking figure. Now, of course, as you can see, he is very lovely in this tealy blue, this very dark blue, a little bit of pink highlights in the blacks. He does come with a Laserbeak, and here he is. And of course, his the posts in his hands allow him to hold Laserbeak. But as we all know, Laserbeak spent most of the time just vibing on his chest. They did reuse this mold for Beast Hunter's Soundwave. Now, unfortunately, Beast Hunter's Soundwave for me broke in the middle of the waist. So he's literally in two. And the only thing I have left of him is a Ravager, which never appeared in the show and is currently somewhere else. Articulation wise for this Soundwave, his head is on a ball joint, so he can do a full 360. And due to transformation, you can look up a Quakefucker. Cool. Arms can do a full 360. They can go sort of in and out. You've got one joint at the elbow here, and a second joint at the elbow. No bend, a slight elbow swivel. And then his hands can technically bend in and out, but that is more due to transformation. A little bit of waist rotation. Legs can go forward that far. They can go back this far, even with the kibble on the legs. And they can go out that far. He has a double jointed knee, due to, again, transformation, and then a little bit of foot tilted anklage due to that. Oh, and of course, these thigh bits can move out. So Transform Prime Soundwave, if you bring his arms down, there is a post on his elbow that will tab into the slot here. Fold in his arms, rotate his arms up, and pop them in. One thing I will make sure certain is be careful with the arm mushroom peaks on the arms. They can and do love the ability to pop. So, show on this diagram how to do it. You just straighten the arm out, tab it in, fold it down. Come to the back, pop out this part, fold out what will become the thrust, fold the head back in fully, and bring this whole part down. Straighten the legs, and tab everything together, like so. Fold the feet up, bring down the landing gear, make sure everything is nice and squozenly aligned. Bring down the heels to form the front half, bring down and tab together the back end of the head, bring his arms down, and they'll slot in onto his thighs, this tab here, go up there. And bam, here you have Transformers Prime Soundwave in his alternate mode. And I actually have to say, Predator Missile Drone is a really good alt mode for Soundwave here. As you can see, it captures all the sleekness that the Prime series had. The the Decepticons had at least. Unfortunately, down here you can see his hands. They're there, and there is his feet. But again, this is a deluxe figure, and it came out really, really well. And there is no articulation, and he slides. Back to War for Cybertron, we have War for Cybertron Voyager class Soundwave. Now, this is the first iteration of Soundwave before they extended his chest and gave him the ability to turn into his boombox. As a result, I will have an attempt at trying to transform him into his spaceship mode. But yeah, so Soundwave was one of the many supporting casts, as was Ravager. And as you can see, he's just Ravage. Transform Ravage, just basically fold his head in. Bring his front legs up. Fold in his feeties. Backwards. Bring in his rear legs. Fold in his feet. Rotate his legs around. You've got to do the back legs first before doing the front legs, I've got to be honest. Basically, make sure everyone is nice and squozen. Yep. You bring forward up the front legs so you can get the back legs up. You bring everything in nice and squozen like. And there you got him. Ravage in his cassette mode. Pretty dope, isn't it? We'll put him off. We'll put him with the others. But yeah, a little bit of action on him is he can pop out a Laserbeak, who does transform, but I'm not going to transform him. Well, no, I transform the other Laserbeaks. So transform Laserbeak, you fold out his wings, fold down his feeties, and then you come to the back here, you fold up that bit a little bit to be able to get you in, and then you pull out his head, and you fold up to reveal his backpack. And this is a very good Cybertronian Laserbeak. And if you're going to use this for a stand-in for Cybertron Jet Soundwave, you can. Fold down the backpack, fold down Laserbeak's head, fold on the wings, and you fold into his legs, get him reattach, re-put him back into Soundwave's chest, and pop him in. Articulation is on Soundwave, his head is on a ball joint, so he can do a full 360. He can look up, not that far, but look down quite a bit. Arms can do a full 360, and go out and in. You get a double jointed elbow bend, and a little bit of bicep swivel, and a little bit of wrist articulation due to transformation. You get a waist rotation. His legs can go out that far. They can go, if you move the skirt up, forward that far, and back that far. You get a little bit of a thigh swivel. A very nice bend at the knee, and a little bit of foot articulation. You get a little bit of tilted so you can pose them quite effectively. So transform him. First of all, remove his battery. Remove his blaster. Push that in. Fold in his wrists. Untab and bring back his backpack. Fold it up on a double hinge joint to bring down his head. Fold that back up. You will want to keep this pushed up, and then this will tab over here. So now you've got Cannon Soundwave. Fold up his arms, and here you've got Soundwave in his lamppost mode. If you remember the first season of the show, he did assume this position. But let's keep this going. You want to come down to the feet here, and you want to bring up this leg filler. Bring up that, fold up the foot, and bring that down. Second verse is much like the first. I like using the tabs on the back to help lift the figure up and the holes. Rotate this around so that these are there, and then this tab and slot will go into there, and vice versa. Then you come to the fun part of untabbing everything, and then it will just tab on. I know you want to rotate around something. Right, so, untab his waist, and then bring it up like so, I think. Oh no, wait, you bring it bring it down and back like that. So it's like this awkward shape. Untab his arms and bring them up and down. You actually want to rotate this around, so it's like this, because you want to wrestle it all into place now. Because now everything's going to fight you, and you're going to be in a war. Sound wave, like that. You want to bring his arms down, like so. Fold out these guns. Oh, I see guns. Pew-pews. Bring out these. Tab them into place. So, make sure the arms are straight. Bring down the other laser cannons and angle these to be whatever way you want them to be. And then, of course, you can take these. The blaster here. I like to put them up here. For vehicle storage. And here we've got Soundwave in his space shuttle mode, and I frankly don't like this figure, this version of it. They did re-release him in both, as a new one, new mold to transform into his blaster, into his soundbox mode, as they did release a sound blaster as well. He never actually assumed this position in the Netflix series. Now we're into RID 2015, we've got Cyberverse Deluxe Soundwave, and this is actually a better figure than what they ever released in the Soundwave, in the Deluxe line. On first look of it, I don't really like it because it feels really cheap. But as I got to play with it a bit more, he can pull down his chest and pop out a Laserbeak. Who's, yep, full CFR here. You want to fold out his arms, his wings. The other wing wants to behave. Fold down his feet. And then fold up his head, and then bam. It's Laserbeak. It's a very shit Laserbeak, I've got to be honest. And again, you can fold it into the chest here. Pop it down. I'm not going to spoil Season 4 at the moment, because unfortunately Soundwave does not make it. Articulation-wise, his head is on a bit of a swivel joint. You can look left and right, and that's it. Arms can do a full 360. They can go in and out on this transformation joint, and then if you hold the transformation joint, they can go in and out on this ratchet joint. Swivel at the bicep, bend at the elbow. A little bit of wrist articulation. It is on a ball joint. You actually get some waist articulation. You can rotate it slightly, but it's blocked due to things to make. You can make him do the full splits. His legs go forward that far, and they can only go back this far due to this kibble, but if you move it another way, it can go back further. Bend at the knee, and a little bit of anglage. So there you go. And he does come with a blaster, and it's really much. So get down to transformation, fold in his wrists and his hands, fold up rotate his feet fully around, fold up the backpack, fold out the front bumper, rotate his waist around, tab in his legs, bring up his arms, and then you're going to basically untab this part. You're going to bring up, you're going to, can't fold down his head, right, so leave his head alone. This figure is very awkward to transform. Rip this off. It's because of this joint, this bit here. Yeah, basically the best way to do it is you just rip off the back bit, just because it gets in the way a lot. You fold this down and then tab it into place, or have I got the arms around the wrong way? No, I should have them in the right way. Keyword is should, but I don't think I do. Rotate them up like that. Bring up the bumper. Bring back the back bit and re-tab it into its slot. It will sit over the car. Fold down the side panels. Bring this part down. And you take the blaster bit and it will tab onto the side here. And it's already Soundwave. And I've got to be honest, out of all of the Soundwave figures, which we'll bring back in, he's actually the weakest link. I mean, I can see what they were trying to do with the animated aesthetics, but it's a hit and miss. He had a really awesome robot mode. I have to be honest. Cyberverse actually gave us a lot of updated robot modes. I love the Seekers, I loved Soundwave, and I love Shockwave, which do with Figure Up. But we never saw them in the vehicle modes, and frankly, I've got to be honest, Soundwave is the weakest link. So that was a very superior review. This is Duncan for saying Soundwave superior, G1 superior, most superior, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!